So the way I've drawn this letter X for week 24, super cute, but it does not have a true serif. Instead, we are doing some ball terminals. So there we've done a teardrop terminal and we've actually done one other ball terminal. And now we're gonna do it on two sides of the letter X. So I've got a new layer, and again, we're gonna go roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers down. So I'm gonna leave that there as kind of a guideline so I can judge my size. And then actually, I'm also gonna draw my kind of wide letter X. Let's do that. Draw a big wide letter X, and we'll use that as a template. So on this layer, what I'm essentially doing is following that layer, or that line rather, and then I'm gonna draw kind of a swashy, cursive inspired line. All right, we'll start with that. I'll go ahead and fill that in. The big thing to know with letter X is when we do this other cross. So to start, go ahead and just draw your wavy line, and you can add your ball terminals by drawing circles on each end. Again, I'm tapping my finger down after I let that ellipse form to form a perfect circle. Oops, I forgot to put on Do Not Disturb today. And pulling that in. Again, this is just our template. We're gonna refine it. But this part of the letter X is actually, this is something I learned later on in lettering. I didn't know it early in my lettering career, but it's an important one. That is never straight across optically. One is usually higher than the other, just ever so slightly to help balance the X. So I usually circle it and then just tap it up a little bit. I start by drawing it like I just did and then just altering it a bit so it's not straight across. If that were straight across, it would be here, that would be here. So that's the big tip for letter X. So let's go ahead and merge that down, and now we can kind of refine this sketch that we've drawn. So I'm gonna make this a little loopier, and because I did this sketch, it really helps me kind of judge this better. That came out much better than the first time. And that's the whole point of doing multiple rounds of sketching, is you're improving your letter every single time. And this time I am going to draw my serifs first, or my ball terminals actually. So I'll draw one there, and that way I can kind of shift them around a little bit. So I can use my wand tool, select it, and kind of shift it into a better place. And this one actually looks way bigger. I decided to draw them separately just to kind of make it a little imperfect, but I don't want them too far off. And I am gonna draw my line on a new layer just so I can alter it as I want to. So again, I'll start by doing it. Oh, I'm gonna draw half and half. Actually, I'm just gonna draw half and half since we've already adjusted it in our sketch. Oh, sorry guys. I'm always afraid to put on Do Not Disturb and then like have my kids need me from school and miss it or something. That's my husband, he's out of town right now, but. All right, and I made a stray mark somewhere. So then I just need to come in and kind of clean up the edges where they meet our ball serifs, ball terminals, and I can delete out my template layer, merge that down, whoop, pinch them together, and get rid of my stray mark. And that still looks a wee bit wonky to me, so I'll probably do our trick where we grab the arrow tool and kind of free form. Maybe it needs to come that way just a little bit, like that. And then I'll draw it one more time, just like we've done in past weeks. But for now, I'll stop here so you don't get bored watching me continually refine. But refine as much as you would like. And then once you're done, go ahead and copy and paste it into our final document. And you know, that line looks really thin to me over here now. So maybe you even want to make it a wee bit thicker. There'll still be a lot of contrast, but then, you know, like that. A little bit more visually appealing to have it not quite so hairline thin. All right, I will see you next week for letter Y.